Foreign ministers from Britain, Germany, France, and the U.S. are in Vienna for negotiations with Iran over its nuclear program. Jim Spellman joins us in our newsroom with the very latest.
Susan, these negotiations are going on right now. Negotiators are up against a July 20th deadline. That's the date that all the parties, along with Russia and China, have agreed to as a deadline to have a permanent deal in place. The goal of the talks is to come up with a way to ease sanctions against Iran, which have been having a crippling effect against the economy there, in exchange for a dismantling of elements of Iran's nuclear infrastructure that could potentially be used to make a nuclear weapon. Negotiators have yet to come up with an agreement on two of the key parts of the deal. First, how much nuclear infrastructure Iran can retain for energy and medical uses, and how long until the sanctions are removed completely. As the meetings begin, none of the negotiators are optimistic about reaching a deal before the deadline or about extending that deadline past July 20th.
We are not still in a position to decide about this, but it is generally believed that if we don't reach a result by July 20th, which is the end of the 6-month period, there is not much willingness to extend the deal for another 6 months. We ourselves are not so willing to extend it for 6 months either.
If a deal isn't struck by the deadline, negotiators may be back at square one. In January, the United States and the European Union lifted some of the sanctions against Iran. It's possible those sanctions could be put back in place, Susan.
All righty, Jim, Russia and China are not participating in this round of talks. How is this going to impact the negotiations?
That's right, not present at the meetings of the foreign ministers from Russia or China. That's raising concerns that the international community may no longer be in agreement about the best path forward. The Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, was seen as especially instrumental at bringing all these parties together last year when the framework of the deal was agreed upon. Some analysts say it's possible that if these negotiators in Vienna can make some sort of progress, that Lavrov and perhaps the Chinese foreign minister Wang Yi could make a last-minute trip to Vienna to seal the deal. We'll have to see how it goes. There's so much pessimism starting off these talks, Susan.
Thank you, Jim Spellman, reporting live in our newsroom.